Welcome to the Trading Lounge. I'd love to share with you a trade I made today on my journey to 100K, where I try to take this small account to $100,000 as fast as possible as a rookie day trader. Today, I am happy to say that after Friday's little oopsie daisy, we are green. $59.15 right there. Kind of hard for you guys to see, but it is up there. We traded 4 stocks today. One this morning and then 3 in the afternoon. I believe that's how it went. But we'll go through those trades. Today was a lot about trying to work on, some new bindings or shortcuts that I had set up. So I changed a couple things around just because it's a habit for me to do certain things with buy and sell, and I made some changes last week that I didn't really like. So I'm going to pull those up real quick on these hotkeys section here. And here's our hotkeys, and the only ones we're really paying attention to are anything that has a key in it. And so I moved Alt W and Alt E right here. These are my buy buttons. One of them has right here has buying power of 25% and the buying power of everything left in my account. That 25%, I'll change that based on whatever my goal is that day, or even throughout the day I'll change that. But how that works, which I don't really like on a cash account, is if you have $1,000 in there and you do 25% of your buying power, it does $250. Then on a cash account, you can't use that $250 no matter what you made on it. You only have $750 left. So if you hit the shortcut again, it's going to do 25% of $750. So it just goes lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And some days I kind of like the way that works, and a lot of days I don't. So if I want to go in for more, I'll hit it twice or 3 times or whatever, or decide to go with full buying power at some point in time throughout the day. But I'm still kind of playing around with how I like that. I think so far I like the way this went today, where I'd go in with 25% or hit it twice, and it would hit 50% of whatever buying power I have left, and then scale out, which is what I've been testing. And I think it flowed okay today. And then Alt 1 and Alt 2 right here are selling full position right here, which is POS, and then half my position. The half position works the same way, where if I have 100 shares and I sell half my position, I will sell 50 shares. And then if I sell half my position again, it'll do 25 shares. So at some point in time, I have to decide, to sell all of my position if I want to get out of my entire position. And I wasn't sure I really liked that, but I did like the way that functioned today. And then I have Alt X, which is cancel all the orders for the symbol that I'm currently on, that's in my montage. And this went well today. I mean, there's some different shortcuts in here. I can link these shortcuts. Maybe I will. I'll make note of that for anybody who's using Dash Trader and just needs some shortcuts. This is a pretty good starting point for most people who are starting out with small accounts on Dash Trader. And then let's get into the trades. First trade this morning was ELAB, and the scanner that I'm using today is ChartWatchers. I did play around with some different configs today. I imported a couple of configs from other people on YouTube and saw what they looked like and kind of played around with them, but ultimately decided just for the making money portion of today, I wanted to make sure I had a scanner I was familiar with. So use this one most of the day. It's an import that I got from someone else. ChartWatchers is not free, and I think it's a $50 version. You can get a code that gives you 15% off to be able to import other people's configs. And honestly, if you're a Ross Cameron fan or Warrior Trader person, you're trying to do low float runners, it would be wise to start with someone else's config and then just tailor it. I've tailored this quite a bit actually to meet my needs, but I imported it from someone else, and so far I've really liked it. Now I did have an issue today, which will show, of my charts freezing in ChartWatchers, and I have not had that happen before in any platform I've used. I've yet to see my charts freeze. I'm sure it's happened, but this was the first time for me, and it came at an unfortunate time. Luckily, I wasn't in a trade, but I wanted to get in a trade. Anyways, that was the only issue I had today with it. But anyway, that's the scanner that I was using. It has a news section right down in here. Let me just see if I can get this to work right. News section here. This is kind of your quote screen. Tells you your float and everything like that. And then this is your small cap top gainers. Use this quite a bit. Like I'll watch for a stock that has news that's like climbing up this even before it hits this running up scanner, which it alerts me as stocks are running up. And then I have this high of day scanner, which I have tailored significantly for my needs by targeting different floats and prices and things of that nature, a change from the original configuration. So all of these stocks were found on this scanner, actually. And last week, I logged into my Webull account and tried to make a trade and actually purchased right here in Daytrader. So today I was like, we're not logging into Webull. I did log into Webull, but it was before I could even trade on this account. So it was like 3:30 in the morning. Made a quick little trade, made like $2 or something like that, and then logged completely out of Webull. So just to kind of warm up a little bit is kind of why I like to do Webull before 4 a.m. I made sure I was not in Webull today during the normal time I like to trade, which is 4 a.m. Pacific time, West Coast time. So let's get into what is ELAB. Now, ELAB hit the scanner today with news, and let me move this real quick. Actually, let's put that back right there, and let's bring ELAB up right here. So the news on ELAB today was right here, North Strive, right here. Yeah. North Strive Bioscience announces arrival, working cell bank, and initiation of manufacturing authorization for dual, GLP-1 therapies in collaboration. It had news. Now, ELAB is one of those stocks that's been around a little bit here. It's been up and down. You can look at the daily chart over here and see like it came up and came all the way back down. It's just kind of been hitting the scanners off and on over the course of the last, few weeks for sure, or a couple weeks. And so, but I was a little reluctant. I didn't want to go all in with my buying power, even though that's kind of what I was looking for today. But I decided I would just go in with that, I think I had it set to 20% or 15%. I forget what it was this morning, but I went in for just a little bit of my buying power today on this stock. And this is where we went in. I think most of these will be on this chart. So I'm just going to kind of pull this chart up right here so we can see it. I don't think I really did anything off of a 10-second chart today. Right here. Yes. So I can pretty much tell you without even looking over here, I can tell you what I did. So ELAB, it has breaking news. It comes up. I was trying to target things under $5 today, and this just came up, and I'm like, I should probably at least make an attempt here. That's kind of how I felt. It shoots up right here, and then this candle, I figured exactly where this opened. Normally it would show right there. Opened at 556. What this close? 560. So it actually gapped down a tiny bit on this candle right here. It gapped down right here, came down, and then started kind of working its way back up. And I thought it was going to break this. So I broke my rule, and I got in a skosh early, a tiny, tiny bit early, anticipating the breakthrough here. It does not break. And it flushes a little bit. And now it already done this already, right? So comes down in here, closes right here, and then this candle opens, and I believe it shot up a little bit, came right back down, and then I'm like, okay, we're not good here. So we're already in. I got in high. I was watching this. I just decided where I was going to get out, where I decided my risk was going to be the bottom of this candle. So I decided I think it was like 540. I decided that was going to be my risk. So I was going to be down 20 cents a share on. Unfortunately, not quite 20 cents. I got in at 554, so I would have been down like 14 cents a share. I don't like to be down 14 cents a share, but I got in high and I wanted to give it a chance. So, and I'm familiar with the stock, and it comes down. This candle opens and tests the bottom here. I'm like, oh no. This comes up, comes down. This one opens, turns green, goes up, and I'm like, okay, we might have something good here. Then this one opens and goes up. And I start scaling out on that candle. I was already in too long. I didn't want to wait any longer, so I just scaled out like 3 times and then got out before this red candle formed for a profit of, I don't know, it was $26.44, which is great. And then the next one was RECT. So I tried to trade. I was really looking for opportunities in the morning. I just didn't find much I was comfortable with. And then I'm trying to remember what stock it was where I think it was it was one of the 2 big ones, RECT. Let's take a look. I'll be able to see it in the chart actually. Right here. Is it this one? It was not this one. That's 13th, right? Yeah. So it would have been RECT. And then the other one was RCT. Another one I kind of have my eye on. I'm kind of hoping the chart showed right here. Yeah, this is actually really annoying. So right here in the morning, this is the only other opportunity that I was trying to take this morning, was this stock. And did this have news? It did have news. Let's pull it up over here so you guys can just make it easy to see. RCT. And then the news this morning, this was at 8 o'clock, was Red Cloud signs up for a $30 million Saudi licensing agreement to deploy its RAID engines across, 68 billion market. I don't know. This is fine. And so anyway, this thing shoots up. It comes right back down. And I didn't really see an entry here on the stock. Because one, it's a penny stock. I don't like to trade penny stocks. Actually, I tried to get in on this. I'll show you what happened. I tried to get in on this. I'll scroll down. Right? Where are you? Right here. And it says price not in 0.01 increments. So one of the things I don't like about penny stocks is I have to have a different binding setup for it with my setup, because you can't buy, I was trying to buy, my limit price was way too high for the price of the penny stock, and that's fine. Eventually, I'll have a lower limit price when I'm on a platform that's a little bit quicker, or if I get more confident in this platform as well. So I got rejected somewhere in here. I think it was actually right here-ish. I have to go back and take a look. I think it was right there. I'm pretty sure it was right there for a little bit of a bump, or it was right here. I can't remember. One of those spots. Anyway, I'm like, I'm just going to, no big deal. Going to stay out of it. And then as I'm watching, it's curling back up right here to break this high of 110. And I was watching the 200 EMA, which was showing 141. So this isn't the right stock I was thinking for the EMA, but there was definitely room up to that 200. And as I'm thinking, as soon as this thing goes over 111, 110, I might be a buyer. I don't know. I just might be a buyer. Might. Didn't matter because my charts froze right here in this section. And now my level 2 was working, but I was kind of going, I wouldn't call it blind, because I can work completely just off the level 2, and I can kind of put visualize charts in my head. It's weird. I can visualize a chart in my head without looking at the chart once I have an idea what's going on with the chart. So I could tell, right? I mean, it's not rocket science, right? This is at 110, and this candle here's at 124. And I'm watching the level 2, and it's climbing up. In my head, I can see the time frames on the tape and the chart. I mean, and the bars. So, I don't know. It was really frustrating. I messaged chart watchers. They told me to send them a screenshot. But by that time that happened, this was already doing this. It was already moving sideways. And I'm like, I'm not even gonna try it. I feel weird about this. I feel kind of out of place. My charts aren't working right. So I was like, I'm not gonna be aggressive. And so I made a trade at the open, I think. Let me pull this back down. Pretty sure I made a trade. Oops, wrong button. What's going on here? Let's do this. That's fine for now, and then we'll bring this one down. I think I did one at the open. RECT. Yeah, that would have been at. Yeah, we'll go to that one. RECT. I did trade this one. This was at 10 o'clock, so 7 o'clock. Oop, where are you? There you go. 7 o'clock. Let's see here. 10 o'clock over here. Where are you? Right in this. Oh yeah, it was 10:08. Is that what it was? Yeah, 10:08. I'm trying to remember where I did this here. Right here. 10:08 for 245. That seems about right. Oh yeah, as it broke this. Yeah. So as it's coming down here and this candle forms right here. Yeah. Then I waited for this candle to open and go over, 208. Got in, and I think I was kind of hoping for a gap up for a halt. Didn't really get it, but as soon as I got in right here, it went up to right here 569. I got out for a nice little profit, and then I've been practicing scaling out. So I left some of it in. So I just left some in, scaled out at 65, scaled out again at 66. Happy with that profit overall. And I'm sorry, that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong stock. That was ELAB. RECT was out. Yeah, so I got in at 245, and then I got out for some of it at 246 when it was kind of hanging there. And I'm like, I just don't want to, it's just not really moving. Get out at 246. As soon as that happens, it goes at 252. I got out a little bit there, and then I hung on for just a little bit to see if I could make a little bit more, and it dropped to 242, and I got out. So ultimately we end up profitable on that trade, which is fine. And then And in AH, RMSG is a stock that is on the scanner right now. Let's move over there. And it is, this is 600, this says it's up 630 some percent. I have to click this again. Maybe, did they just split this and I don't even see it and I didn't see it? No, they haven't done. So yeah, I mean, this is the run it made. So it was at this morning under $1, 90 cents, and now it's up over $3.89. That's a pretty nice move. And a big part of it was here in AH, which is when I traded it. But, yeah, RMSG, and I do not believe that it had news. RMSG today. RMSG, right? RMSG. No news today. So, I mean, it was just running up. I forget what the reason was, probably for some previous news. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it definitely had all the attention today, and I just decided not to trade it. But in AH, what happened, which is awesome, is main screen. It actually halted right here. So this line right here, this is AH, and this is right before the normal trading day ends. And it right here, it halted right here. So it's in a halt. And halts, the volatility halts, you can't have those halts in pre-market and AH. You can have news halts. I think there's probably another one, but for just sheer volatility, no. And so actually it was like midway through the halt, and then the trading session was over, and the halt just came off and it started moving, right? So you can see right here, it went up, it was kind of halted in this zone, went up a little bit, scaled back, and then made this nice little run right here. So I decided to get in, I believe, on this candle. My first entry was 314, which, yeah. So as this is starting to scale up right here, I'm like, I think it's time for me to get in. This candle opens, comes down, and as soon as it shoots up above here, I get in for my first entry at 314. It shoots up to 330. I take some profit off the table. Again, I'm trying to scale out a little bit. Probably would have made more money had I taken all of it out, but that's fine. Took another little bit about at 823, took a little bit more out at 836, and a little bit of a profit there. Now my next trade on it was really my only real loss of the day of negative $30.27. I got in here at 372, which is the top of this candle. This is not what I should have done. What I should have done was, this candle opens, goes here, I get in right there, I take my profit, bam, 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 right? And then this candle opens, does its thing, it goes up here, goes above this, can't get in right there for the break of whatever that is, if I'm going to do it. I waited, I was watching price action, and I honestly thought it was going to break over 375. I went in for the break of 375. It did not break 375, and it just dove down. And I got out, I think, when this red candle here, let me take a look at my time frame on it. 608, yeah. So yeah, I got in high, it came down. I picked this range, which is like 340 as my stop, which is more than what I wanted, right? But I just was extended, and I wanted to give it a little bit of a chance. As soon as this candle went red and dove down, I was out. I just got out. I'm like, all right, we'll just, no problem. We'll eat that. And then I continued to watch it. And then again, 3 minutes later at, it was like 6:09. Yeah, right here. So as soon as this candle right here opened and went above this candle, I went in again. And I think it was, 363. I think I went in a little bit no, that's right. So yeah, this candle here closed at 363. This red one right here closed at 363. And both of these are kind of in that range. So when this one opens and it shoots up and it finally gets over 363, it was like 363. I got in, and which is right in this range right here. And then over the course of, I don't know, 1 minute or so, I scaled out of that trade for a profit, which is great. I wish it had been more of a profit, but it wasn't. Got in at 63, got out at 68, 69, and 72. Was happy with that overall. And then the very last trade I made was on GCTK for very small size. I just wanted to test out what I was thinking in my brain. And this one did hit the scanners actually, but let me see if I had news. GCTK, I think it did have news. I type in the right thing. GCTK. Is there no news on this? Oh, wow, look at that. No news. No news. Okay, well, we'd like there to be news. Anyway, it shoots up right here. I didn't get in it because I only had I only used a tiny bit of my buying power I had left, just because I wanted to test this. So as it was curling back over here, I was thinking it would break this level right here. So I got in like a couple cents early. This was, I forget what this was. The high was 139. When this candle opened and kind of pulled back and kind of shoot it above this candle right here, actually this would have been a good entry point at 135. I got in at 137. It shoots up for a little bit of a profit, and I got out right away. So, for $1.70 on that one. So we ended up getting $59.15. And here's the data. The data today, we started this challenge back in December with $1,000. Quickly doubled that money. If you look at that chart, you can see basically from the start all the way up to when it peaks at its highest was pretty much from December to like very early February. And then the market slowed down and I took a beating until I kind of understood like that this is more about learning how to lose than it's learning about how to win. And since then, I've been able to kind of, fiddle my way through. I've had a $400 day in there and then some small days and some different losses in there, and just been kind of figuring out, like, once I had that big drawdown that you see, that brings me back down to like under $1,000. I've kind of went sideways and then kind of gone up and gone sideways, and we're just slowly creeping back up bit by bit, and we're doing all right. So since I started the challenge in December, we have profited just under $1,300. Happy with that. We participated in 60 trade days. Is that right? Is that number right? Let me take a look at. Let me make that bigger. Yeah, 60 trade days. I'll verify that. I think that feels right to me. With a win rate of 67%, we've had 89 winners and 43 losers. I have to update that just a little bit from a day I did last week, but it'll be in favor of winners, by the way. And but the trading P&L is accurate at just under $1,300. So anyway, I hope you guys were green today. This was a little bit. I don't know how to do these right now if I'm doing like 4 or 5 trades in here and kind of going through them. Maybe, I don't know, I'll figure out a way to maybe make it a little bit smoother so we're not going through each and every single trade. But I don't know. I think it helps me learn, helps me understand what's going on, and maybe it's beneficial for at least one of you guys out there. So again, hope you guys had a great weekend. Congratulations to Rory McIlroy for winning his second Masters, 2 in a row, one of 4 humans to do that. What an elite round to watch for sure. I just noticed I got the golf club in the background. Got to put that work in. Cheers.